Hello. Gender-based violence cases are growing daily in our country. Women are dying, children are dying, men are dying, and it made so much sense for us to look into this issue of gender-based violence. What is causing gender-based violence and how can we mitigate this issue? 67% of women in Botswana are abused in one way or the other, be it sexually, emotionally, or physically. And this is like the global average number, which is pretty much saddening and very worrying. So today I just want us to chill and talk. Are the campaigns enough? The jails, are they enough? What is enough? Because really, according to me, I just feel like we are campaigning on streets, we are campaigning on social media, but the funniest part is that we are campaigning with the perpetrators. They're the ones sitting behind the keyboards and typing "stop violence." They're the ones toying with us in the streets, "stop violence." What should we do as a nation? What can be done to mitigate gender-based violence? And that is what we will be looking at today. And please keep in note that this is merely a platform to start a conversation. We are kick-starting a conversation. That means that this conversation doesn't have to end here. Leave a comment down below. What should be done? What should we do? What should we implement? Because in 2021, guys, we cannot be fighting COVID-19 and fighting GBV. It's been long. This is expired. This is out of fashion. At least we need new problems now. What can be done? Let's go to the studio. Welcome back to the studio. You're tuning into The Gag with Angie, and my name is Angela MOKOTI, otherwise known as your host with the most. To those who are returning subscribers, welcome back, and to those who just subscribed, welcome to the family. Now today, as we have already mentioned, we're just going to be talking about gender-based violence, what causes gender-based violence, and what can we do to mitigate this issue. And I just want us to come up with something that we can implement as members of The Gag with Angie. We have to do something because, like I said, gender-based violence is out of fashion. We've been talking about it since 1980. In 2021, we can't be talking about gender-based violence. It's a joke. Before I even move any further, I just want us to go to the comments. Very much interesting. I posted this on my Facebook, what causes gender-based violence, and the good thing about this is that most of the people who responded to this are men. Now, I don't want to say that violence is only inflicted on women only. Even men experience gender-based violence, but it's just that sometimes they don't report their cases. So their cases never make it to the radio, like I said, they never make it to the media, and we never really collect the right data, the right statistics, alright? But 67 women are abused. That means for a majority of people who are abused are women. Now, let's look at what people had to say. What causes gender-based violence? I have Kamogelo. I had a conversation with Kamogelo, who is Mutibi. He said many significant factors cause gender-based violence. He went on to say the more unemployment rate increases, forget about reducing GBV. So he's saying that unemployment causes gender-based violence, and he went on to explain that when you are frustrated, you have financial crisis, you are bankrupt, you can end up lashing out on women or the other gender. Okay, I don't know. Comment on Kamogelo's perception. Does unemployment cause gender-based violence? Lirang Ray went on to say acceptance. Our old school folks believe to inflict discipline is through violence. That's why people don't report it too, because they believe that's what they get if they misbehave, and that's the root of the problem. Most nations don't allow it. It's very hard for a person to become abusive. They know the consequences, and that the consequences are harsh, and it's unacceptable. I once became, let's see this one, I once became abusive myself. Ooh, lerang. I am not proud of it, and it was a one-time thing. The girl did something wrong to me. Let's listen to this guy. The girl did something wrong to me, and she was lying to my face without seeing that I'm carrying all the evidence. I then grabbed her jowls with my hand. That was the first time and the very last. She knew she was wrong. She never reported it because no one said anything, but we were in the park. I was driven by my emotions, yes, but if I knew the consequences, I wouldn't have done it. That's why I say acceptance is the root. That's a powerful one, Lerang, and I just applaud you for being a better person. What do you think about this one? Acceptance. Our society has accepted gender-based violence, and it's actually okay because we actually see clips on social media of gender-based violence, and people shoot these clips and they laugh on the background, and you see that it's something that the society has accepted. We have normalized it. I don't know. I want to know from you. Is gender-based violence now a norm that people don't report it? Now people feel like is the right thing to do? What do you think? Let's go to another comment. Well, the last one, Tembani, I hope I'm saying it right. Petros said, I would say the media and certain politicians. The truth is, whenever men feel oppressed and depressed, expect violence from them. Men address situations physically, mostly. Woo. Yes, I don't know. What do you think about Tambani's perception? Let's go to Tito Kosi Kombani. He said, I for one do not accept the notion that gender-based violence has a cause. Okay? Being violent is natural, i.e. it's a natural response to circumstances or situations that are infuriating. Of course, the response differs from one individual to the other, but generally, people express their anger or displeasure through violence. It's deeply intertwined with every other thing that makes us human. GBV, it's only a small aspect of a broader mannerism that has graced human behavior since the dawn of time. Alright, Kosi, we hear you. Violence is woven so deep into human behavior that one might be persuaded to agree that perhaps God or whichever deity one might believe in is the reason for our existence, purposely bestowed it upon humanity to ensure our survival, or perhaps we evolved it as an adaptive mechanism that eventually spread via natural selection. Either way, we are born with it, and so the only way to stop GBV, it's entirely up to oneself, because we are also born with the ability to consciously monitor and control our actions. He said a lot of things, really. You will see these comments on the screen. Is it a way that we react to things and we put the term GBV, but actually it's broader than GBV? What do you think about Kosi Kombani's comment? I really don't know, but what really frustrates me and what made me to have this conversation was because I don't understand why we should be dealing with the same issues, and why the next generation and the next generation should be dealing with GBV. GBV shouldn't be headlining the news today. GBV shouldn't be the talk in the streets. According to me, I genuinely believe that number one, gender-based violence is caused by lack of proper parenting. Well, that's just my perception. I believe that our parents grew up in patriarchal environment. They grew up in environments where violence was accepted in a way. For instance, men would discipline women by beating them. They would say whatever they want to say, but at that time, right? So they grew up in that kind of environment. So when we grow up, as we grow up, what we see is patriarchy. So patriarchy is moving from one generation to another, and we keep on referencing it with different terms, but at the end of the day, it's just patriarchy. So when a boy child grows and they see their father is beating up their mother, it's okay. That's what they see, and for them it's fine. So they'll be like, oh, okay, so that's how you discipline a person, or that's how you react when a person does something that you don't like. So it becomes a normal thing to them, and it becomes acceptable to them. And the same thing applies to our girl children. When they see their mothers being beaten and their mothers don't report it, they're okay, they're staying in the relationships, they think, oh, okay, no, this is fine. Actually, when a man does this to you, it shows love. That's why you find that ladies today who feel like when their partners are not laying their hands on them, it shows lack of love, it shows lack of affection. You see, so for me, it goes back to lack of proper parenting, which is led by the system of patriarchy. There are really gender stereotypes that are still stuck with us. So what we should do is really just change the status quo. And it goes back to parenting. We need to show our children how to treat each other well. So you cannot be going to your boy children and telling them to treat women with love, not to hit women, but when now you are doing a completely different thing. So proper parenting means you have to show them, you have to act, you have to do what you preach. So parenting for me, you really have to teach children how to treat each other from a really young age, and the only way to teach them is by treating each other. I hope I'm really making sense. And the other thing that I feel perpetuate gender-based violence is poverty or hunger. I don't know how to phrase it, but during my research, I found out that there are women who are staying in abusive relationships because they don't want to go to bed hungry, they have nowhere to go. I mean, it always starts small, you understand? It starts with emotional abuse sometimes, it starts with those small things, but you can always pick up the red flags. And then it starts with one slap, tomorrow pa 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 pa, and then the other day it's a kick. It always grows, and women see these things and they sit, they hide behind makeup, they hide behind the pictures, the whatnot. They don't go away simply because bad relationships are literally their careers, so they are doomed. And what can we do to address this type of situation? Man, let's empower our women. Let's empower our women, give them the education. Let's do something so that you can be able to stand up for yourself. Believe me not, if our women were empowered enough, there wouldn't be too much gender-based violence. You wouldn't be hearing of many instances where women die because of gender-based violence, because the moment he lays a hand on you, you'll be able to walk away. You understand? So it's definitely human empowerment in jail for that, so that you can be able to be independent and just to know what love means. Sometimes you are independent, but you don't know what love is. You are blinded. Like I said, you think that is love. I get people say it's not easy to get out because you love that person. Well, I understand. I don't want to act insensitive towards that one. I want to believe that as a woman, as strong as we are, when you see a red flag and you are empowered enough, you walk out of that relationship like it was nothing, like you were never in that relationship. You understand? Like you would say, there was me before this relationship and there will be me after this relationship. So woman empowerment is very, very important, and I feel like we are sleeping on that one. So as a society, let's just empower our women. And the other thing that I feel causes gender-based violence is issues of infidelity. Yo guys, we cheat or like people are cheating, and it goes to anger management issues. You find that Bani is cheating on me, and then you end up not being able to control yourself. I don't know, controller and you end up being violent. So it's those issues of infidelity and other things that surround children by infidelity. And really, like, how do we deal with that? It goes back to learning how to love. You just have, I don't know, I don't want to say cheating is normal, and I don't want to dwell much on how to love and all that. But from where I'm sitting right now and from my own perspective, I think if a relationship gets to a point where there's cheating and you feel like you're losing it, your emotions are out of place, like I said, live the relationship like you never walked right into it. Just go. Let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. So I don't know, and I just feel like in our black community, this anger thing, we don't know how to manage our anger, especially our men. And that's why we need to go back to issues like therapy. Let's normalize therapy in our society. And therapy really doesn't mean going to a psychologist all the time. Therapy is different. Sometimes therapy is taking a jog. Sometimes therapy is talking to a friend. Therapy is different. Just find that one thing that keeps you sane and do it whenever you feel like you're about to explode. You understand? So we need to normalize therapy because anger issues are real, and people violate other people because they're angry. That's why you hear them the next morning, they'll be saying, I was angry at the time. I don't know what happened. I don't know what okay. You know what happened? It's because you don't know how to act. You don't know how to manage your anger. And one way to do that is just go to therapy. And the other thing really is personal development. You know, like when you develop yourself, you will see that these things are not worth it. You will see that staying in an abusive relationship is not worth it. You will see that abusing another person is not worth it. You will know how to manage your anger. You will be able to empower yourself so that you can live independently. You will know all those things. At the end of the day, one thing that I feel will reduce GBV is just self-development. Mindset decolonization has to happen in our society, because we still have men who feel like for them to prove that the man of the house, you know, to prove that manhood, they have to be a woman. It's just mindset decolonization. We need to go rewind and clean things up, and then you know. So that's what we have to do. And in order to do that process of mindset decolonization, it's when our people are are just developing themselves, develop yourself and all that type of jazz. And really, like, this episode, like I said, is just to kickstart a conversation. It's just for all of us to comment. I don't want to say you are obliged, but really you have to leave a comment, because I'm tired. I don't want to be tuning onto the TV and I hear a case. I don't want to be reading the papers and there's a case. I'm bored. I just feel like it's old. So at the end of the day, I need to say, let's be men. Like, men don't hit women and women don't hit men. Let's grow up and make wiser decisions. Let's stop gender-based violence. With that being said, guys, I'm going to have to end this conversation here, but we can continue it on my social media platforms at Angela MOKOTI on Facebook, or you can WhatsApp me on 72763522, or you can leave your comment down below. Make sure you subscribe, you like, you share, and you click that notification bell so that whenever we post a video, you are notified. Otherwise, my name is Angela MOKOTI, otherwise known as the host with the most. You see now, anger inside the washing, but let's do right, guys. Let's do right. Bye. Keep God blessing you.
The Get with NG. Talking about entertainment. The host with the most.